Hello and welcome to Clearview News. We're reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. In the news, President Buhari restates commitment to cooperating and rendering needed assistance to neighboring countries to foster international peace and economic growth. Deputy Senate President Ike Ikweremadu says 9th National Assembly will rise above political, religious and ethnic divides to address national challenges. And Sudan's military coup leaders warn protesters still on the streets of Khartoum to avoid breaching the peace as the nation settles to a new era. I am Rose Audu with the details of these and more. President Muhammadu Buhari will on Saturday leave Nigeria for Chad Republic to participate in the extraordinary section of the Conference of Heads of States and Government of the Community of Saharan States. This was disclosed in a statement by his Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu. Buhari and other regional leaders will join their host and current chairperson of South Conference, President Idris Deby, to deliberate among others on political and security issues, the state of peace and ways to address multifaceted threats in South area, especially Boko Haram and refugees, and make a declaration on the entry into force of South revised treaty intended to fast-track the realization of the objectives of the body. During the opening section of the conference, special awards will be given to heads of state and military contingents in Mali, Sudan, Somalia, Central African Republic and in the Lake Chad Basin. Buhari will be accompanied on his trip to the South meeting by governors of Borno, Lagos and Osun, Kashin Shatima, Akinwumi Ambode, and Adegboyega Oyetola, respectively. Others include Minister of Foreign Affairs Geoffrey Onyema, Minister of Interior Abdulrahman Dambazo, and Minister of Defense Mansour Dan Ali, National Security Advisor Mohammed Mungunu, Director General National Intelligence Agency Ahmed Rufai Abubakar, Comptroller General of Immigration Muhammad Babandede, and the Federal Commissioner for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons Sadia Omar Farouk. Buhari will return to Nigeria at the end of the conference on Saturday. And President Muhammadu Buhari on Friday said that Nigeria will always cooperate with her neighbors and lend helping hand as necessary. The president, who stated this while receiving the outgoing ambassador of Equatorial Guinea, Job Abiang Esono Mbegono, at a farewell audience in State House Abuja, said Nigeria and Equatorial Guinea have always identified with each other and will continue to maintain good neighborliness. President Buhari said he was happy that the outgoing ambassador, who spent 9 years in Nigeria, settled and understood the people and culture of Nigeria quite well. Ambassador Mbegono said Nigeria made great impact on his life as he learned a lot about the country, adding that the people were friendly and warm. And while congratulating President Buhari on his re-election, the ambassador said he was happy because Nigeria is in good hands. And the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, says Nigeria's annual budgetary commitment to capital projects has in the last 3 years increased from 15% to 30%, commissioning 74 operational vehicles and 3 ambulances newly acquired by the Federal Road Safety Commission, FRSC. On Friday in Abuja, Mustafa said, among sectors receiving priority attention is the National Road Transportation System in order to check road crashes and fatalities. Clearview TV's Prudence Okona was there and now reports.
The establishment of the Federal Road Safety Corps in 1988, now near commission, was aimed at mitigating the rate and severity of road crashes and ensuring effective road safety management in Nigeria. In furtherance of this, the Corps Marshal Federal Road Safety Commission, Boboye Oyeyemi, says the procurement of 74 patrol vehicles and 3 ambulances is to demonstrate the federal government's commitment to road safety management. The measure, he explains, will help ease the implementation and achievement of the FRSC strategic goals for the year 2019. Oyeyemi's position is shared by the Commission's chairman, Bukari Bello, who assured that maintenance of the vital operation equipment will be given priority.
The pleasure for us today that the first phase, the procurement of 74 patrol vehicles and ambulances approved by the Federal Executive Council is a commitment to road safety management in Nigeria. It also reveals the sincere commitment of the federal government to ensuring that Nigerian lives up to the UN Convention on Road Traffic and other international obligations it has assented to, as well as other national development plans. Besides, it will ease the implementation and achievement of the FRSC strategic goals for the year 2019.
The Federal Road Safety Commission Governing Board will ensure optimal deployment and regular maintenance of all vital operational equipment of the Corps. Accordingly, we shall continue to monitor and evaluate the implementation of our policies and programs to help members of the Corps discharge their statutory responsibilities effectively, efficiently, and in accordance with global best practices.
While commissioning the 74 units of Innocent IVM 4x2 double cabin pickup vans and 3 ambulances, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, says the provision of fiscal stimulus for infrastructural development is in line with the government's commitment to improving the national road transportation system.
This administration has, in consonance with its Economic Recovery and Growth Plan, ARGP, progressively raised the nation's annual budgetary commitment for capital projects from a paltry 15% in the past to a minimum of 30% in the last 3 years. We have also placed high premium on the provision of fiscal stimulus for infrastructural development, with particular attention to the national road transportation system. Government effort in this direction is informed by the acute recognition of the critical place of road transportation in Nigeria's historical and national life.
Also speaking, the FCT Minister Muhammad Bello, represented by his Chief of Staff Bashir Mai Borno, while felicitating with the FRSC, lamented that government's efforts are being sabotaged by poor attitude of road users.
We have substantially improved urban mobility and road safety within the city through rigorous expansion in the road networks. Unfortunately, government efforts in this direction are being sabotaged by some road users who continue to exhibit poor attitude to road use and willful damage to road infrastructure.
Also at the commissioning ceremony were the Deputy Governor of Anambra State, Nkem Okeke, representatives of service chiefs, among other stakeholders. Prudence Sokona reporting for Clearview Television.
Nigeria's Inspector General of Police Mohammed Adamu has called on police officers to develop and modify crime management strategies. He strongly believes that the only way to stay ahead of criminals is to continually generate actionable criminal intelligence. Addressing a strategic meeting of police managers at the force headquarters Abuja this Thursday, the police chief assured all Nigerians of their safety. Clever TV's Prudence Okona was there and now reports.
The increasing cases of banditry and kidnappings amongst other crimes in the Northwest has taken a new dimension requiring urgent attention. The Nigeria police are therefore stepping up their internal security framework with focus on the prevention and detection of crime and maintenance of order. While highlighting the current security realities in the country, the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, challenged officers of the force to evolve new approaches to crime management.
The dynamics of crime should tax you to evolve new thoughts and new approaches to crime management. Your ability to do this, what defines you? Your ability to do this is what defines you as a professional and an experienced police manager. You must therefore return to your commands to evaluate and coordinate actions directed at overhauling your current crime control structure and strategies, being conscious that the current security challenges represent a test on your leadership ability. You must learn to crime map your jurisdictions and harness the strength within to neutralize all forms of crimes and security threats. The only way we can stay ahead of criminals is to continually generate actionable criminal intelligence to support our anti-crime functions.
The IGP urged officers to fully engage the two policing policies which are aimed at cultivating citizens' partnership and confidence. On the activities of Operation Puff Adder launched on April 5th, Adamu said it has recorded some successes.
Reviewing your current strategies, you must fully engage the two core policing policy of the current police dispensation, which are built on community policing and intelligence-led policing values. Operation Puff Adder was conceptualized and launched on the 5th April 2019 to address in the shortest possible time the threat of kidnapping, armed robbery, banditry in Kogi, Niger, Zamfara, Kaduna, and Katsina states, as well as the FCT. It is gladdening to note that this initiative has recorded remarkable achievement.
The police boss also reassured citizens of their safety wherever they may be without any form of excuses. Prudence Okonna reporting for Clearview Television.
The Presidential Committee on the Northeast Initiative, PCNI, says it has set up local content working group for the Mambila 350,000 megawatt hydroelectric power project in Taraba State. Vice Chairman of the PCNI, Tijani Tumsa, disclosed this in Abuja at a one-day strategic briefing section on Mambila 350,000 megawatt hydroelectric power projects and local content development organized by the Presidential Committee on the Northeast Initiative and Hypotech Nigeria Limited. Clearview TV's Uju Onyemichalu now completes the story.
The working group was set up to ensure strategic coordination and implementation of the 30% local content contained in the hydroelectric power project agreement signed with Chinese contractors for the development of the Northeast and the entire country. Represented by the Vice Chairman, Tijani Tumsa, the Chairman of the PCNI, Theophilus Danjuma, said the group is expected to generate from their institutional mandate the needed capacities for the successful implementation of the 30% local content.
Nigeria is moving forward towards being alive to its responsibilities of training local capacity to be able to access opportunities that are coming in from abroad. The federal government under President Muhammadu Buhari has been able to move the level of development on this hydropower project that is situated in Taraba State, and we as a group, as a people, have to now be able to access the 30% local content available within the contract for Nigerian indigenes.
The Taraba State Coordinating Permanent Secretary, Jeji Williams, assured that the committee will ensure that people living close to the Mambila hydroelectric power are relocated and provided with basic needs to guarantee security of lives and property.
The theme of this meeting today is for us to meet and fine-tune on those aspects of resettlement of people who are close to the Mambila hydropower project in Taraba State. We don't want to have a situation where you start relocating people without providing them their basic needs. So this meeting is very key. We want to ensure that all the policy briefs are taken into consideration so that the Taraba State government, in conjunction with the federal government and all the consultants that are involved in relocating people and all aspects of the project, will take note of it and ensure that everything is done according to specifications.
For the managing director of Hypertech Group, Mohammed Mustafa, the idea of local content in Nigeria is a strategic and unique opportunity for national development with regards to capital infrastructure projects like the Mambila hydroelectric power project.
Basically, local content in Nigeria today is a standing law backed by the executive order of Mr. President in February 2018. We believe it's a strategic and unique opportunity for the national development with regards to opportunities in capital infrastructure projects like the Mambila hydropower project, which don't come around every now and then. So our effort is to coordinate the relevant participation, both public sector and private sector, to maximally engage the 30% potential of the local content as engrabbed by our law and as also inscribed in the contract, which is having the Chinese handle 70% of the procurement and local content being 30%.
The Mambila Power Station is one of Africa's and Nigeria's biggest dam projects. The project was approved by the Federal Executive Council on August 30, 2017, to be situated at Gembu in Taraba State. Uju Onyemechalu reporting for Clearview Television.
The National Orientation Agency has assured that it will effectively publicize government's policies, programs and activities to ensure that it meets public expectation. Director General of the agency, Garba Abari, gave the assurance in Abuja at the flag-off of the agency's public sensitization on the policies, programs and activities of government. Again, Clearview TV's Uju Onyemichalu was there and now reports.
The Director General, Garba Abari, said the sensitization drive was to appraise the government's efforts since assuming office with a view to setting an agenda for the next 4 years to ensure that better policies are implemented in the years ahead.
The national footprint of the NOA is purposely put in place to ensure that citizens fully understand the policies and the programs of government and they can key into them. It has therefore become imperative that as this government prepares to settle for its second mandate, we shall begin to appraise what had been accomplished in the past, what we need to do in the next mandate, and therefore what citizens expect from what had been done and how they expect that what had been done could be done better.
The Minister of Communications, Adebayo Shitu, who highlighted some of the ministry's achievements in the last 4 years, stated that the ICT industry has, contrary to popular belief, employed more Nigerians than the oil sector. The need for the sector to be prioritized in the years ahead.
The ministry, under my humble watch, rightly identified 5 key focus areas on the ICT roadmap. These 5 key areas are as follows. 1. Infrastructure development, including information security, broadband development, and improvement of quality of service and access. The Smart Government Initiative, human capital capacity building, and of course, local content development. Presently, the following policy interventions initiated by this administration are in progress towards making the ICT/telecom sector the major driver of our national economy. Again, by way of digression, I want to say that as of today, the ICT industry employs more Nigerians than the oil industry, which had been the mainstay of our economy.
On his part, the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, represented by Atonda Kolawole, thanked the Nigerian military for their sacrifices in tackling insecurity in the country and reaffirmed the government's support to the fallen heroes' families.
We thank the Nigerian military for their sacrifices in tackling security challenges in our country, particularly the challenge of insecurity, and for which many of them
have paid the supreme price. We shall do our best to support the families of the fallen heroes.
The sensitization program is aimed at establishing social institutions and framework for deliberate exposure of Nigerians to democratic norms and values through political and civic education. Uju Onyemichalu reporting for Clearview Television.
You're watching Clearview Television News. We will be back after these timeouts.
This is Ibrahim calling from Niger State Medical Power.
Oh, this is Anissa from Benin.
My name is John calling from Niger.
My name is Ahmed. I'm calling from Kogi State.
This is Clearview TV, and this is our spread through free-to-air via Niconsat and online.
Yes, this is Bifus calling you from Adamawa State.
Adamala Ahmad Ibrahim.
Mala Ahmad Ibrahim the Gochaja kenan.
Daga Yudi. I'm calling from Benue. My name is Chukwemeka. I'm calling from Niger State.
You can imagine how far your advertisements, social announcements, official notices, and jingles will go if you patronize us. It's time to take your messages far at the cheapest rate.
Welcome back. The Deputy President of the Senate, Ike Ikweremadu, says the 9th National Assembly will rise above political, religious and ethnic divides to address the myriads of challenges facing the Nigerian people. Ikweremadu made this known in a statement by his special advisor on media, Uche Anichukwu, on Friday. Ikweremadu, according to the statement, spoke during the dinner to mark the end of the orientation program organized for 9th National Assembly members-elect. He described the National Assembly as a microcosm of Nigeria. He stressed that bringing together the members-elect from across the country had not only helped them to garner basic legislative knowledge, but familiarize with one another and better appreciate peculiar challenges faced by various parts of Nigeria. The lawmaker added that through the profess different religions, the insecurity taking the toll on our people has no religion, hence the need to work as a team for the peace, justice, equity and national prosperity. He said it was a call to deliver democracy dividends, meet the expectations of people, and a call to ensure that the government of Nigeria works for the people. The Senate on Thursday confirmed 3 new ambassadorial nominees recommended to the upper chamber by President Muhammadu Buhari early this year. The confirmation followed the consideration of the report of the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs shared by its chairman, Senator Monsurat Somonu, which had earlier screened the nominees. The nominees who were confirmed are Christopher C. Chijena from Delta State and Bukar Kolo, Yobe State, and M.A. Mabdul from Benue State, respectively. Presenting the committee's report, Senator Somonu said all the nominees met the criteria to be representatives of the country abroad and therefore recommended their confirmation by the upper legislative chamber. Meanwhile, the Senate also confirmed President Muhammadu Buhari's nominees as members of the board of the National Bureau of Statistics. The confirmation followed the adoption of the report of the Committee on National Planning and Economic Affairs. The Red Chamber confirmed Kabiru Nakaura as chairman representing Northwest. And the All Progressives Congress Southeast Renaissance Group on Thursday called on the leadership of the party to zone the position of the Speaker, House of Representatives in the 9th National Assembly to the southeast. The group's convener Chris Onyemichara made the call at a press conference in Abuja. Onyemichara claimed that the APC denied the Southeast principal office positions in the National Assembly in 2015 on the grounds that the zone did not have a ranking member on the platform of the party. He regretted that now that the zone had produced 2 ranking members, the party's leadership seemed to be shifting the goalpost. He said the situation where the same geopolitical zone that produced the vice president was scheming to produce the Speaker of the House of Representatives was unacceptable. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is from the southwest, while it is believed that the party leadership is considering Femi Gbajabiamila, also from the southwest, for the position of the Speaker. He claimed that in spite of all odds, the APC members in the southeast had shown capacity and leadership, hence they should be encouraged with such strategic position. He therefore called on all party members jostling for the position from other geopolitical zones to withdraw from the race and support the southeast. And Kano State Governor Omar Ganduje says he will invite People's Democratic Party PDP stalwarts to join hands with him to move the state to the next level, despite challenging his victory in the just concluded March 9 governorship elections. Ganduje said already he has signed a memorandum of understanding with other political parties to join him deliver democratic dividends to the people of Kano, adding that if PDP joins him, it will foster inter-party peace and foster development in the state. He spoke shortly after a meeting with Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, who is scheduled to visit Kano on Saturday for a function. Ganduje said the people of Kano were elected to have the VP in the state, noting that the people of Kano were happy with Osinbajo, who contributed meaningfully to the victory of the party in the just concluded elections.
Yeah, Mr. Vice President is scheduled to come to Kano tomorrow for a marriage ceremony, so I wanted to confirm to him that we are ready for him tomorrow morning. That's basically what brought me, and also to tell him that people in Kano are happy because APC has won the election and everything is okay now. Other political parties have already come forward. We even signed an MOU. We are going to work together, and even the stalwarts in the PDP, we will invite them later to come and join us so that we make Kano greater.
On the need for Buhari to appoint members of all the political parties into government has been conversed in some quarters. Ganduje pointed out that members of opposition parties could undermine the president in future and suggested that the president appoints technocrats and professionals who will help him deliver on his second mandate.
As far as I'm concerned, he should look for brains rather than considering political parties that may decide to undermine him later. I think what is important is to get brains, committed people who are experienced, who are achievers. I think that is what we need at this moment.
The Supreme Court has dismissed the appeals of the All Progressives Congress in Rivers State and factional governorship candidate Tony Cole. The 7-member panel of justices presided by the acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Tanko Muhammad, on Thursday ruled that 2 of the appeals are defective and lack merit. The Apex Court had held that being pre-election matters, they ought to have been brought in accordance with the rules of the court, adding that no reliefs were sought from the Supreme Court. The panel unanimously ruled that the citations made by counsel to APC Jibrin Okutepa is inapplicable to the case and therefore struck it out and upheld the submission of counsel to the PDP. Emmanuel Ukala, that reliefs brought to the Supreme Court were directed to the Court of Appeal in the motion papers. Okutekba, who earlier requested the Apex Court to invoke its powers under Section 22 of the Supreme Court Act to set aside the judgment of the Rivers State High Court, which nullified the primaries of the APC. However, withdrew the third appeal filed on March 23, 2019. The latest Supreme Court verdict followed a suit filed at the Rivers State High Court in Port Harcourt by Ibrahim Omar and 22 others against the APC, wherein Justice Chiwendu Nwogu restrained the Congresses despite the court's order. 2 parallel primaries were held in Rivers State, with Magnus Abe and Tony Cole emerging from both direct and indirect primaries conducted in the state. The coal faction is loyal to the Minister of Transportation, Chibuike Rotimi Amechi. And you are still watching Clearview Television News. The news continues after this timeout.
This is Ibrahim calling from Niger State, Barking Power. Oh, this is Anita from Benin. My name is John, calling from Niger. My name is Ahmed, I'm calling from Kogi State.
This is Clearview TV, and this is our spread through free-to-air via Nikonsat and online.
Yes, this is Diffus calling you from Adamawa State.
Adamala Ahmad Ibrahim.
Mala Ahmad Ibrahim the Gochaja kenan.
Daga Yuri. I'm calling from Clearview. My name is Chukwemeka. I'm calling from Niger State.
You can imagine how far your advertisements, social announcements, official notices, and jingles will go if you patronize us. It's time to take your messages far at the cheapest rate.
And welcome back. The Minister of Science and Technology, Ogbonnaya Onu, this Thursday in Abuja played host to a delegation from the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, as well as the Japanese ambassador to Nigeria. Now, the report. Science and Technology Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu, during the visit, called on the private sector to invest in every business that would improve the nation's economy. According to him, it is the responsibility of local investors to create an enviable business environment for foreign investors to come and invest in the local business and thereby stabilize the naira.
We are moving our economy away from depending entirely on commodities to start depending on knowledge that is innovation driven. It's already yielding so many results, and we believe that in the years ahead the full impact will be more visible for more people to see and appreciate. I would like to use this opportunity to call on the organized private sector to come in and invest in projects, many projects that will help us in building new businesses.
Speaking earlier, the chairman, Specialized Committee of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce, Leye Kukboluyi, said he and his delegation had come to solicit the support of the ministry for the expansion of the Nigerian business environment. Kukboluyi, who also presented the minister with the industry's marketing technique book for the year 2019, said the private sector is committed to growing the nation's economy, but called for greater support if this must be achieved.
ICT generally has to be inclusive before it can be successful. It's not a class issue. It's not about the people who are educated. It's not about the people who are in the bad area. It's not about people that are rich. It has to be a way of life. You have to reach every nook and cranny of the country. Having said that, the ministry has been supportive. And we think this time around it's not just about endorsement, but it's about collaboration. We are here to pattern a new proposal to collaborate with the ministry so that the mandate of the ministry, which is to up the standard of living of Nigeria, to create more jobs, to create more wealth, and to create our standard of living, which can be fashioned around ICT.
Also this Thursday, the Japanese ambassador to Nigeria, Yutaka Kikuta, was at the Ministry of Science and Technology to seek collaboration on the promotion and advancement of science and technology development in the two countries.
First of all, congratulate the re-election of the President Buhari continuing into the second term of the presidency, and Japan is determined to continue to support whatever the second term of the Buhari government, including your honorable minister, to support. and whatever the cooperation with them.
Responding to the Japanese ambassador's request, Dr. Onu said Nigeria has had good relationship with Japan and prayed God to continue to strengthen the bond between the two countries.
Nigeria has decided to now move our economy away from being dependent on commodities. We now want to move our economy away from being merely dependent on commodities or resources to be a knowledge-based, innovation-driven economy.
The minister further assured that the Ministry of Science and Technology would continue to work to ensure that the nation's economy achieves growth in every ramification, especially in the area of science and technology development. And Finance Minister Zainab Ahmed on Thursday described the International Monetary Fund's advice to the federal government on the need to remove fuel subsidy as a good advice. Speaking at the sidelines of the ongoing IMF/World Bank spring meetings in Washington, D.C., she said the advice from the IMF on fuel subsidy removal was good, but has to implement it in a manner that is both successful and sustainable. Data from the Debt Management Office showed that Nigeria's total public debt rose to 24.39 trillion or $79.44 billion as at December 31, 2018, representing a year-on-year growth of 12.25%. The 2018 debt stock is higher than that of 2017 by 2.662 billion naira. Ahmed said President Muhammadu Buhari has directed that the minister looks at every area that requires reforms. And the Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation yesterday raised the alarm over increased sophistication of cybercrime and proliferation of Ponzi schemes in the country, noting that the trend was posing a great challenge. Its managing director, Umaru Ibrahim, who stated this at the ongoing 30th Enugu International Trade Fair in the coal city, also said while the corporation had made efforts to recover deposits of Nigerians in distressed banks, it needed to acquire requisite knowledge and capacity to match the growing ugly trend of cybercrime. Umaru stated that measures had been taken to ensure that those behind the collapse of the former Sky Bank were prosecuted. And chairman of Heirs Holding and founder of Tony Elumelu Foundation has pledged to continue support the government and Nigerians as a whole through the $55,000 grant of the Tony Elumelu Foundation to create a more prosperous society. Elumelu made the pledge after a private meeting with President Buhari at the State House. He said it was important to gainfully engage the youth population of the country in profitable ventures to ensure that economy grows.
At the heart of Mr. President is economic development of Nigeria, is youth employment, youth engagement, which, as you know, the Tony Elumelu Foundation is also very involved in, and it's always good to see how we can create a better society where our young ones, young men and women, are gainfully engaged. People who are economically active and engaged want to see peace and want to support progress and development.
While commending President Buhari's effort in the agri sector, Elumelu urged the federal government to convert gas to power in order to attract more investors to boost the economy, which he said is already doing well under President Buhari, on the discouragement of Nigerians from taking loans from China. Elumelu said although it was a good advice, it will create a vacuum as youth and women will be economically deficient in terms of entrepreneurship.
My position is that nature abhors vacuum, If people don't want Nigeria to take China loan, Chinese loan, they should provide an alternative, to us. And they should also, again, as I keep saying, support the development of entrepreneurs. They should look at how to help us eradicate poverty in a manner that is sustainable. And to me, one of the surest ways of eradicating poverty is to make sure that our youth are gainfully engaged through entrepreneurship, and also to make sure that the development agencies, the IMF and Co, World Bank, they help and support Nigeria to improve our infrastructure, road transportation, access to electricity. These are things that will help us bring security, and these are things that will help us create prosperity, create employment, which is what is important to everyone. So, advice is good, but nature brought back it.
The National Examinations Council has postponed the 2019 National Common Entrance Examination into Unity Schools to April 27. Aziz Sani, head of Information and Public Relations Division of the Council, made this known in a statement made available to newsmen in Abuja on Thursday. Sani said the examination, which was initially scheduled for April 13, was rescheduled to give states with low registration of candidates the opportunity to register for the examination. He added that a total of 70,720 candidates had so far registered for the examination across the country. He, however, advised candidates to download the new examination timetable from the Council's website at www.neco.gov.ng. And the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board has said it will investigate reported cases of inability of some candidates to do biometric verification as the 2019-2020 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination commenced on Thursday. The board's head of media and publicity, Fabian Benjamin, disclosed this on Friday in Abuja. Benjamin also said that the release of the results would not be immediate, as the board was taking time to process before releasing them in order to avoid multiple cancellations. On the biometric verification, Benjamin said that the board was looking into all reported cases and would take a decision soon. The 2019-2020 UTME, which commenced on Thursday, April 11, nationwide, was not totally hitch-free, as some candidates complained of inability to be verified through the biometric process, either at the beginning or end of the exercise. However, some centers recorded a smooth conduct of the process, as over 1.8 million candidates who registered for the exercise were expected to sit for the examination from April 11 to April 15 in the 698 computer-based test centers across the country. And on the entertainment scene, popular American TV host Wendy Williams has filed for a divorce from her husband, Kevin Hunter. And in Nigeria, Nollywood actor Mofe Duncan and his wife Jessica have allegedly called their 3-year-old marriage quits. Let's now join Clearview TV's entertainment correspondent Cecilia Okoli for details.
The popular TV host Wendy Williams has filed for a divorce from her husband, Kelvin Hunter. The talk show host, who has been married for 25 years, filed for divorce following rumors that Hunter fathering a child with his mistress. Hunter, with whom she has a child, served as her manager and was a producer on the Wendy Williams show. It appears things are looking south for the American talk show host Wendy Williams and her now estranged husband Kelvin Hunter, as they are currently set to part ways. Williams did not wear her wedding ring on her recent taping of her talk show. She has alternated between wearing it and going ringless in the recent weeks. Despite the cheating rumors, many fans believe Wendy should stay with her husband, especially after she addressed the status of her relationship in early March, downplaying issues of any current infidelity, stating that her marriage was strong.
3 hours and 2 minutes. I'm gonna have to wear 2 diapers.
3 hours and 2 minutes?
It's gonna be the longest superhero film in theaters ever.
Well,
so
if
wear
you've got
2
the
diapers.
time, Avengers Endgame hits theaters on April 26th. We've got time for one more.
Yeah.
So, what are we gonna do about breakfast?
What are we gonna do about breakfast? You better start boiling rice, mate.
But we haven't got any rice.
Don't care. Find it. Make it. Plant it.
And in Nigeria, the Nollywood actor Mofe Dawson and his wife Jessica have allegedly quit their marriage. The couple tied the knot in 2017, and it seems that they are drawing the curtains over their marriage. Jessica, the wife, confirmed the split on Instagram, while Mofe seems to be throwing shades on social media. There seems to be trouble in paradise for the Nollywood actor Mofe Dawson and his wife Jessica. Reports claim that the couple have called their marriage quits, and it's over 3 years of love and commitment. It is yet to be confirmed the cause of the split, but Jessica has stated that she will not be looking down to settle down with anyone again. Dawson also shared a recent post in which he appeared to be throwing shades at his alleged estranged wife. In the post, the actor stated that the love is like a flower, which dies if not watered and cared for. In a question and answer section on Instagram, a follower asked Jennifer if she is still married, and she stated that she is not anymore. Duncan is yet to say much about the incident, except the subtle shade he threw on social media. Cecilia Okoli reporting for Clearview Television.
Martin, you had one job. Buy McDonald's and bring it back in one piece. Jeez.
So it wasn't me.
Shut up, I don't want to hear it. Escape up now.
And to bring you an international story, the military leaders who carried out the coup in Sudan on Thursday have sought to reassure people their only concern is public order. The spokesman said Sudan's future would be decided by the protesters who took to the streets to demand President Omar al-Bashir's removal. But protesters remain camped out in the streets of Khartoum, fearing the coup leaders are too close to Bashir. The military says it will not extradite him on war crimes charges. Bashir is the subject of 2 international arrest warrants issued by the International Criminal Court, which accuses him of organizing war crimes and crimes against humanity in Sudan's Darfur region between 2003 and 2008. However, he may be put on trial inside Sudan. According to the military council set up after the coup, Bashir, one of the world's longest 7 leaders until he was ousted on Thursday, is now in custody. His downfall followed months of unrest which began in December over the rising cost of living. At least 38 people have died in the protests. Thousands remained camped out near military headquarters in the capital on Friday. Ignoring a curfew declared by the military, they are demanding a transition to civilian rule before they return home. The new military council is headed by Defense Minister Awad Albin Auf, who was previously regarded as being well placed to succeed Bashir. And before we go, another look at our top stories. President Muhammadu Buhari on Friday said that Nigeria will always cooperate with her neighbors by lending a helping hand to them when necessary. The Deputy President of the Senate, Ike Ikweremadu, says the 9th National Assembly will rise above political, religious and ethnic divides to address the myriads of challenges facing the Nigerian people. And Sudan's military coup leaders have warned protesters still on the streets that there will be zero tolerance for disturbances. And that's the news. Remember that you can subscribe to our YouTube channel via Clearview TV and follow us on Twitter at Clearview Online. Follow us on Instagram at Clearview TV_NG. You can also follow us on Facebook via Clearview Television. You can also watch Clearview TV on 9 Comsat with any free-to-air decoder. For details, contact your local installer. I am Rose Audu. Many thanks for watching.